Hi, this is Michelle with the Busy Book Club. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I want to talk to you about something that I'm doing that I've actually never done before, and it's kind of surprising as someone who loves to read as much as I do, but I am rereading a book. I have never read a book more than once. I read it once and then I'm done and I put it on my pretty shelf and that's it. But I loved this book so much, and it was very, very popular. Some people loved it, but I also saw a lot of YouTubers not liking it, which is fine. Not everyone's gonna love this, but it did really surprise me. But I listened to the reviews and I can completely understand why this book would not be for everyone. It is kind of slower paced, and it is very descriptive about nature, which can be kind of less intriguing to some. To me, one of my goals in life is to be kind of more intentional and slow, peaceful living. So I really enjoy the descriptions of nature. But anyway, it is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Yes, this book did come out about 10 years ago now, maybe eight years ago now. But I loved it so much. I gave it to my mom, and she read it and she loved it as well. And then we were very excited once the movie came out. If you have seen the movie, it is quite similar. However, there is something at the end. There's a huge twist at the end that is not touched on at all in the movie. And that was kind of a bummer because it was a part of the main character's build and how she really protected and defended herself, I guess I want to say. But anyway, so it's about this girl named Kaya who lives in North Carolina, and she lives in the marsh, and she lives in a very kind of broken down home. In the beginning, she is a part of a family that's happy enough. They don't really have anything. They don't have a lot of money, but they're happy enough. The dad is a little bit of an alcoholic, but the mom's wonderful and she has a lot of brothers and sisters to play with. But as the dad's sickness kind of gets worse and worse, he gets quite abusive to the mom and to the kids. And so as the kids get old enough, they kind of take off. And so kind of one by one, her siblings are leaving until it is her older brother, her mom, and her dad. And then her brother and her mom pretty much leave at the same time, leaving poor Kaya with just her sick dad, who is becoming worse and worse of an alcoholic. So she's kind of abandoned and left with him. She starts to build a relationship with him, and it's kind of beautiful. He kind of stops drinking as much, and they're going fishing, and he's teaching her how to drive the boat, and it's touching very momentarily. And then he kind of gets back into it, and he gets pretty grossly abusive towards her, and then he leaves her, and so she's living in this marsh house all by herself and trying to fend for herself. So she remembers how to fish from her dad, and she learns how to garden on her own, and so she's just trying to kind of make her own way in the world and trying to survive. But she doesn't go to school, she doesn't write, she doesn't read, she doesn't really have any friends, no socialization skills at all. But she does have one little friend, one boy who lives near the marsh, and he comes and visits her from time to time, and he's a very, very sweet human, very sweet boy, and he likes her for who she is. So fast forward, and she gets involved with a couple guys in town, a couple boys that aren't the best, but they're showing her some attention, and she is intrigued by that. Of course, she's a teenage girl. And so she kind of starts to go on dates, and things take a turn for the worse. And one of the boys ends up murdered. He had fallen from a fire tower, but they kind of knew that it was not an accident because the fingerprints were removed from all the surfaces, or someone covered up their tracks. The tracks were covered up. So anyway, she gets kind of tied into this like murder, so it becomes like a murder mystery, and she's trying to prove her innocence. And of course everyone's pointing the finger at her because she's an easy target. She's Kaya the marsh girl who no one in town likes. Outside of the marsh is kind of a very upscale town, and the families and even the teachers, everyone kind of looks down at her. She's a little dirty, she's uneducated. They kind of see her almost as an animal, and it's just truly unfair. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. I really enjoyed it. My mom really enjoyed it. And if you've seen the movie and liked it, I hope that you'll give the book a chance. If you haven't read it or seen the movie, I hope that you'll give this book a chance. I mean, it's beautifully written. It really, really is. It is very descriptive of nature. It is kind of a slower build. But it's so beautiful the way she figures out how to live on her own and how to survive, and she's so strong and so powerful for being such a young girl, really given nothing from anyone. And there is a bit of love in here. I wrote down one of the lines in this book that I love the most, that I think could intrigue you to read into the end, because the ending it is a wonderful ending. It's got a little twist in it, and it's very powerful. But the line is, "Every creature does what it must to survive." Pretty powerful. All right, I hope that you'll give this book a chance. I hope that you'll pick it up if you haven't read it. If you have, I'd love to hear what you thought about it. I know a lot of people didn't like it. It is a little bit more of a slow burn. Some people didn't even consider it a murder mystery, kind of more of a historical fiction, which I can see it is set in the past. But there is a murder. It is mysterious. There is some love, and I think it is definitely, definitely worth your time. I appreciate you for being here. Thanks so much.